Have you ever heard about the unbundling theory? Craigslist turning into Airbnb, Tinder, Uber, Excel turning into Monday, Trello, QuickBooks. This is happening right now in the supplement market. And whoever understands this first is going to get rich. Let me explain. Look, back in 2010, Andrew Parker wrote about the unbundling of Craigslist. Craigslist was like a marketplace for everything. You wanted a job, Craigslist. You wanted to find a girlfriend, Craigslist. You wanted to rent a house, Craigslist. And then what happened? People went and took each category and created a specific marketplace. Airbnb took temporary rentals, Tinder took relationships, and Indeed took jobs. Then in 2017, Thomas Tungus, who was the VC at Theory Ventures, did the same analysis for Excel. And the craziest part is that every SaaS you know was once an Excel spreadsheet. Project management was Excel, which then became Monday. Trello. Accounting was Excel, became QuickBooks. Financial modeling was Excel and became, I don't even know, but there's probably several. And the pattern is always the same. You start with a generalist tool and then a bunch of specific tools emerge. And guess what? This is happening right now in the supplement market. Here at the agency, we work with dozens of supplement companies, over 120 at this point, and we see how they position themselves, and we see that a lot of times. And if you look at the supplement market 15 years ago, what was it? Was Centrum, one a day, basically generic multivitamins, and maybe a shake to lose weight. Everyone's selling general health, stores with hundreds of SKUs. It was like taking this vitamin and you be healthy, done basically a generalist multivitamin. And nowadays, the market is fragmenting into ultra specific niches, and I'm going to show you the data that proves it. Check out this number. According to data on the dietary supplement market in 2024, the supplement market was estimated to move over 150 billion in purchases. But that's not the most important part. What matters is that the fastest growing niches aren't generic vitamins. They are ultra specific categories growing 2 to 3 times faster than the general market. It was the unbundling happening in real time. So what are the biggest niches to grow as a supplement brand? I'm going to show you the main ones here. And look, I'm not saying these are the only ones, okay? There are others, but these are the ones with data showing that they are exploding. The first one is gut health. Man, look at this data. According to McKinsey, the probiotics market was already worth 77 billion in 2024, and from that moment it was projected to grow 8.2% annually until 2030. Check this out. 80% of consumers consider gut health very important, with 50% planning to spend more on it in coming years. But here's the real detail. Everyone already knows probiotics are important, but you're not going to make it just another generic probiotic. You're going to niche down, and you're going to do it like this. Probiotic specific for people with IBS, which means irritable bowel syndrome. Probiotic for menopausal women who have hormonal issues affecting the gut. Probiotics for athletes with specific strains for performance. Do you get what I'm getting at here? Basically, you do something for a specific audience and you clearly stand out amongst this audience. It's taking the niche and niching down even more. The second niche is longevity, and this one is really booming right now. And also, according to McKinsey, 60% of the global consumers consider healthy aging a top priority, and it's already a 2 trillion global industry. Look, it's not just old people buying, okay? It's 25 to 35 people obsessed with longevity. They are already thinking of wellness, longevity, etc. They want to live to 100 years old with quality of life. But again, right, you're not going to make a generic anti-aging supplement. You're going to make a longevity supplement specifically for cellular aging with clinical dosage of 250 to 500 milligrams, for example, or a type 2 collagen for joints and mobility, not just regular collagen for skin, or senolytics for those deep into biohacking. Or you could even make a longevity subscription box, something like complete longevity stack based on your age and biomarkers. Then you can charge $150 per month and deliver 6 to 8 specific supplements. It's an idea I had as an example. I don't know if it's good. I don't know if it's going to work, but the market has to tell you that if you want to pursue this type of offering. Now, the next one is nootropics and basically cognitive performance. We're seeing a big trend for prospects that want to work with our agency launching nootropic supplements. And this is interesting because there are a lot of startup founders taking these kinds of things in the form of pills, in the form of drinks. And you see how much the Adderall market has grown over the past years. Everyone in Wall Street, founders, startup founders, they want to focus, they want concentration, they want an edge, they want mental performance. And there's space for supplements that do this without being controlled medication. Now, you're not going to make a generic nootropic. No one's going to go for that. You're going to make something more specific. For example, a nootropic for founders with L-theanine, caffeine, rhodiola to reduce cortisol, for example. Another one would be a nootropic for students preparing for SAT or another test, for example. A nootropic for professional gamers, and this exists. I've seen brands built around nootropics for gamers. So again, you take the general category and you hyper niche it for a specific audience, then you can expand from there. All your marketing speaks directly to that one audience, and even if you're small, you are relevant. Your Instagram only has students taking it before exams. Your ads only appeal to people who follow Andrew Huberman, for example. So you are immediately a reference to them. You are already trustable because you're so specific. Now, the fourth one, and this one is huge, is women's hormonal health. And we have brands doing it, but women were ignored in the supplement market for decades. Every supplement in the beginning was designed basically for men. Whey protein with more of the fitness branding for men, creatine for men, pre-workouts were initially for men as well. And now brands have been waking up for this, and they are for some time now. But I brought some data here which helps to illustrate that. And according to McKinsey in 2024, there was a study called Closing the Women's Health Gap. The global women's health market is projected to grow 9.8% annually. And some of the trending categories here are premenstrual supplements, PCOS supplements. We worked with brands that specifically have a line for PCOS treatment, which basically means polycystic ovary syndrome, natural fertility, menopause. And again, you don't make multivitamin for women. Of course, you don't want to be generic once again. You make a supplement specific for the menstrual cycle, changes accordingly to the cycle phase, or a complete stack for those women with PCOS, which is basically inositol, NAC, C, magnesium, fertility supplements with Q10, also folate, vitamin D, and everything in the right doses. Just to illustrate a few examples, I might be wrong on some of the formulations here, but for example, you see Ritual did this very well. They took vitamins and said, let's make them specifically for pregnant women. And did it work? They've got 100 million plus in revenue because they niched down. So look at what's happening. The supplement market is becoming like Excel or Craigslist or ChatGPT, which will probably undergo unbundling soon as well. Will generalist brands continue to exist? Yes, just like Excel still exists. But the opportunities for rapid growth are in the ultra-specific niches. Gut health for people with IBS, longevity for 30-year-old biohackers, nootropics for founders, women's hormonal health for those with PCOS, and so on. Here's the secret to all of this. You don't need to invent a new ingredient. You just need to take an ingredient that already works and position it in an ultra-specific way for an ultra-specific audience with marketing that speaks directly to that audience, with dosages specific to their problem, with packaging that resonates with them. This is unbundling, and whoever does this first in each niche will dominate that niche. So if you are a DTC founder, supplement founder, wellness founder, here I always show what other supplement DTC, wellness DTC brands are up to, what they're doing to really scale without breaking in the process. And I apply this to our agency clients where we are running Google, YouTube ads, ad funnels. We are driving customers and helping them generate tens of millions in combined revenue every single year. So if that makes sense to you, click the first link in the description and also subscribe to the channel and stay tuned for next videos. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one.